Good evening and welcome to a brand new season of International Sim Drivers Association Racing. I am your host, Ike Sky, and of course the camera jumps right back to the setting that I don't want it to be in as the cars leave the pits. A huge gaggle of drivers going out for the first round of this championship. And where are we? Well, where else can you start a championship as epic as this? Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps hosts the opening round of the autumn season of International Sim Drivers Association Racing. And we will be following it every step of the way. Unfortunately, you need to listen to me the whole time. That's the only downside. Bit of a gap, a few of the drivers being left in the pit lane, but nothing unusual there. Porsche's running around together on the warm-up laps. So, first things first, as always, I have the chat open, so if you are watching and you see anything that I don't, or there's anything that I'm missing, feel free to tell me that I'm wrong and I'm blind and that I should have been looking at some other car. Good evening to VP Falcon. Hoping you're going to be leading the way for a few of the drivers tonight. Are you running in the Audi? Please tell me you're running in the Audi that I made you. Let me just find the man himself. The 71 car is out on track and is running the livery that I made for him. Good man. So no bias, but you might see quite a bit of that. Matej Miksic out in the 96 Porsche, a man to watch for the Pirate Racing Academy team. I wouldn't wish to bear the pressure on his shoulders that he might be having to deal with. Everybody slows up to get a clean bit of air for the start of their first qualifying lap. This isn't the most important one that they will do, but this could be critical come the end of qualifying. How well they've worked their tyres up to temperature and pressure. Spa is a long enough lap to be able to get everything into its working window. Evening Kippy and evening to Mr. Vinton. Yankees! Welcome along to the stream. I am happy to be back behind the mic. I would much rather be behind the wheel of one of these GT3 cars though. And I'm even more upset that they haven't fixed. Whoa, big wiggle for Miksic, and I think that's the first death that we've seen over the top of Arouge and Radion. Let me just open the track map because I know the track, but in the middle of commentating, you ever so slightly forget. There we go. So, everyone starts from a fresh footing now, and it's up to the drivers to prove where they are in the field. This is going to be a difficult track for a few of the cars. Balance of performance really not in the favour of the not in the favour of some of the better handling cars, let's say, like the Porsche. But they get it all back through Sector 2 with the twists and turns both on and off camber as Miksic runs through Bruxelles and through the newly reprofiled Speaker's Corner, but not in ACC, it's not. I love when YouTube complains at me because I'm broadcasting at too high a bitrate. That's a good thing to feel. Who is on a fast one and who can I speak to for an onboard lap? I tell you what, I did promise to do this, so Alex, before the race, has told me that he's set this car up to be extra pointy. So out of La Source for turn 1, down the hill he comes towards Eau Rouge and Radion. He says it's flat. It's certainly flat, if not close to it. It sounds as though the traction control kicked in ever so slightly. Up the Kemmel Straight, still going uphill. So if you have a power deficit, you are going to struggle up towards Le Combe now. For the second time of asking on the brakes, third gear, hold off through here. You get too greedy on the throttle. It's a rookie mistake to make. And you can spin the car so easily. Then down through Bruxelles, the banking does just about lend you some aid, but that's all you're going to get from it. Round Speaker's Corner now. Again, difficult to deal with in some of these cars. I've just been told that I'm wrong and blind and should be looking at another car by someone on Discord. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those tonight again. Really happy to see everybody in the chat though. Great to be back and watching all of this fantastic racing, no doubt. Where's that mention gone? And my Discord has immediately died and doesn't like me anymore. Cool. That's absolutely fine. As Moore comes up the hill into the bus stop for the third time of asking. He's half a second up on his previous time at the moment. How much further will he go up the grid, though? Hopefully quite a bit from that 14th, 11th, just outside the top 10 for the 71 Audi. Immediately gets demoted by the 55 of Igor Van Coyle in that monster. Oh my goodness, someone needs to turn that Aston Martin down. That's the V12, isn't it? That makes a whole lot of sense. That is very, very loud. We're going to need to spend some time around there and running a beautiful livery in the 55 car as well. Hopefully everyone will notice the beautiful new resolution that we're using in this season. Hopefully it will be staying that way. As Minton comes across the line, goes 8th in the, I think this is a V8 Aston Martin. Yeah, it's a V8 Aston Martin, not a V12. So, for the drivers who might be in the chat at the moment, just to make it very clear, I do have Discord open and I'm ready for interview if it's so required. I will, of course, only drag people in if they really want to come and have a talk, and it will have to be waiting until there is, if there is ever, any spare moments for us to have a reasonable conversation. I'm always happy to hear the perspectives from the drivers who are actually out there driving. Let's see very quickly who is going fast then. Kevin Tusick, who's currently leading the way, is with a 2:16.4, has increased his lead to a 2:16.047 in the Honda NSX. I knew that they had changed the balance of performance for the Honda. I didn't realise that it had gone that well. Matty Mex in the 886 Mercedes, currently going 0.3 faster as well, coming down towards the lowest point of the circuit at Campus and Stavelot, through Lafagna first, of course. But now down to Stavelot. I'm sure this is going to be something to absolutely savour. Is the Mercedes on full chat? All the way up the hill. Relish these perspectives. We don't get them in real life. but we get to make the most of them here in Assetto Corsa Competizione. He's still up on his previous time. This isn't enough to get the lead, but it might swap him on the grid if he can just get the drive out the bus stop here. Dragged up the hill by the Porsche in front, and is it enough? He goes to second, but only by a tenth. The 886 is by no means safe in its current time. Enough down the hill for another stab at the lap. Aidan Doyle is improving at the moment, and he is halfway through the lap as well. There's plenty of performance to be had from that Porsche. Just whether Doyle can wrangle the performance from it. He's looking pretty good at the moment, I've got to be honest. If he can keep it all together here and keep the lap valid. I think that's still valid. That's great to see. Oh boy, I wish I had another screen. Oh, all of this real estate, and I still run out of space. That is... It looks like it's still valid to me. I think, unless they've changed the broadcasting tool that I've got. Who else do we have in the YouTube chat? We have GL Sim Racing, Garrett Jensen Van Vuren, to Radijek, and to Kippy again. That is Aidan Doyle up to 9th position. Great showing for the 85 driver. And who else is coming up? It's going to be Bellato across the line. Hauls out the anchors. I don't think he got a lap time there. Otto Winkler comes to the line. He's going to stay 22nd. Looks as though he's going for another lap, though. Also noticed we are lacking a countdown script timer. Where's that gone? Answers on the back of a postcard, please. Because I must admit, I don't know. So Winkler, the last of the drivers to have set a lap time so far in the Bentley, but I think he might have been struggling to set a realistic lap time. Who else is out at the moment? Borovets is out, and is on the pace of his previous times, but that Porsche for Philippe is not behaving as well as we've seen in previous races. And a change of name as well. I'm going to have to ask that 22 car driver what comes with the team name change. Who else do we have taking part and increasing in pace at the moment? It looks as though Radisevich is going faster than he has, but that's not too difficult. He hasn't set a relative lap time yet. But let's see what he can do. It's on target to be at least a relevant lap time. Through the bus stop he comes. 1 second up on whatever his reference time is. Where does the 11 car go to? He goes as far as 18th. That's a darn sight higher than he was before. Dunster now, the number 4 car that we saw having issues at the start of the session, Now coming down towards the bottom of the track once again. Down at the Fagner. All seems to be in check for the most part. Have this same view. I don't know why the onboard audio is so loud. Not on the racing line there, so I imagine he's going to lose some out there. But it's all about the traction to the line now. He's up by a second. Where's that going to push him to? Only goes as far as 21st, and that is him back to the pits. Back to the number 11 car, going faster again at this point in time. The times are starting to fall off. Borovets has gone up to 5th position. Is 2 tenths up again. Is being dragged up the hill now by what I can only assume is a McLaren of Nida Zak. Nope, that is Miljevic. There's dragging the Porsche up the hill. He's going to get Sloan up in the corner, though, at Blanchimont. Gets out of the way on the exit. Is that the lap we're in? No, he's still going faster. It's enough to get him close, but it's not going to be touching that 34 Honda of Kevin Tutik. Second he goes. So a vast improvement for the 22 Porsche, but still look at how close those times are for the top 5. Well, look at the times all the way down the grid. That is incredibly close. BP Falcon in the chat, why am I so slow? I'm going to say it's because you made your setup too pointy. Obviously, no stability. Can't get the throttle out of the corners or something like that. 998 McLaren of Miljevic comes out of the final corner. I don't think that lap was relevant. Anyway. Okay, I have to check. I have to work this out. Where's this gone? There we go. We have time. 2 minutes 20 to go. There we go. Very sorry for getting that wrong, ladies and gents. I've actually been doing a lot of Assetto Corsa driving, and I've now got all of the information here on a SimHub dashboard, which is why I have it turned off in game, because it's just distracting. Along with that track map, but I'll fix that at the end of the session. We don't necessarily need that right now. And very sorry for that audio spike as well. It's another joy of working with ACC. Krisnich is going faster in the number 3 BMW. Looks as though he could at least overhaul the 85 of Doyle, who was going so well earlier in the session. Doyle is out on track and able to fight back with 1 minute and 30 left to go. This will be the final lap for Igor in the BMW. Up to 10th is as far as he'll go. He's going to go for one more. Brooker, meanwhile, comes to the line 3 tenths up. Displaces Dan Minton in the AAA Aston Martin. And will go for one more, I would suggest. Senel Tadic in the 84 BMW, 18th at the moment, is looking to improve. He's 4 tenths up on his previous best at this point in time. That's enough to drag him all the way up to perhaps 14th place. If he can hold it all together, he could be in danger of deposing Dan Minton in the 888 car by another position. If he can hold it together, we know that BMW has been pegged back in recent updates within ACC. And rightly so. But it's still a mighty weapon in the right hands. Tadic hopes that he's one of those. Gets the throttle down on the exit of the corner. Is 6 tenths up. Can he hold it to the line? He's going to cross the line with 18 seconds to go. And it wasn't a valid lap time. Now we know where he's found that time from. He's 2/10 up on the exit of turn 1 as well. He's leaving a lot of performance on the table in that very stable BMW. Zoran Jonic is coming around for his final lap. He's 4/10 up at the moment. The track is getting faster and faster as it gets rubbered in. Actually, apparently it's getting towards optimum rather than fast. Oh, beautiful four-wheel slide going through Lafagna there for the NSX. We know how fast the Honda can be around here. It looks as though it's going to be 2 Hondas in the top 5. It could be 3 if it wasn't for Carlos Stulik having retired to the pits. We'll follow the NSX up the hill. Beautiful looking car this is as well. I can't wait to give this a go in some other races now that it's been given some performance back. On the brakes for the bus stop. 4/10 is the gap. It's green all over his display. He's a bit slow at the apex, but can he get the throttle down on the exit? He's up on the exit. Beautiful traction. Will come across the line and go as far as 3rd. Hondas will be 1st and 3rd. Porsches 2nd and 4th. Oh. Who says that this GT3 riot isn't fun? D'Couza comes across the line and will depose Naidazak for 8th position. Swap sides on the track. That could be a critical point at the start of the race. Radosevich will come across the line and promote himself to 13th. Minton goes from 10th position to 14th in the dying moments of qualifying. Heartbreak for the 888 Aston Martin. I think that is the session about done. Naidazak is trying to get that last gasp position to get back at the Honda, number 80 Honda of D'Couza. Great to see D'Couza back in a Honda as well. He's up, but is he up enough? I'm not sure. He's within a 10th. If he can make it happen, now's the time. He doesn't make it. Unfortunate. Kevin Tudik then will lead the way in the number 34 Honda NSX. It's really weird to be saying that. As last season, this season is sponsored by SimRacing Pro. Thank you very much for sponsoring, and if you'll just watch this brief ad reel for them. Once again, thank you to SimRacing Pro for sponsoring the series, and our usual track walk begins. So first on to the warm-up lap will be the Honda NSX of Kevin Tudik. I thought I put it to timetable. There we go. Kevin Tudik will lead the way with Romano Berenic alongside. Zoran Jonic in the 24 Honda will start in 3rd position, with the 22 of Philippe Boravets alongside. Mattia Mex will start the Date 86 Mercedes in 5th position, with the 233 of Carlos Stulik in 6th. Another Honda right near the sharp end of the field. D'Couza in the number 80 will start from 8th, with Naidazak starting the 89 car from 9th. 10th will be Igor Krisnich, with Aidan Doyle alongside. Andrew Brooker in the 130 Porsche. As my displays go funky, thank you very much, Windows. Sorry. Just ever so slightly need to get everything back in order. So Brooker in the 130 will start from 12th. 13th will be the 11 car of Goran Radosevich, with Dan Minton alongside in the 888 Aston Martin. The number 14 of Dennis Bellato will start in 15th, with 16th being Marko Miljevic in the number 7 car. 55 for Igor Van Coyle, with Alex Moore in the 71 in 18th position. 19th will be Remco Langendijk in the 36, with the 84 of Senel Tadic in 20th. 21st will be Ivo Miljevic, with David Dunster alongside in the number 4. 23rd will be 99 of Joseph Brillas, and the 35 car of Adnan Halavac that's very much pronounced wrong, I'm very sorry, will start in 24. 25th, and rounding out the grid, will be the 82 of Otto Winkler in that beautifully turned out Bentley livery. And that is your grid for the opening round of the full series for the GT3 World Challenge from the International Sim Drivers Association. I'm now going to get all of my screens back in a place where they should be. Zoran Jonic for the win. We watched the Bentley pull away on the warm-up lap. I think Otto was watching us. He tried to get a bit of wheel spin up there for us. And a difficult race it's going to be for all of the drivers today, requiring the utmost discipline, especially as they run up the hill for the first time through Eau Rouge and Radion. I don't envy them one bit. So, who is your money on? Who are you hoping to take the win? We have Ari saying Jonic for the win. That's a very confident statement of their confidence in the driver starting third on the grid. Give me just a second. Trying to get back how this used to look. It's not easy. There we go. Having done a lot of warm-up laps recently in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and quite a few in very, very difficult circumstances and using different services, I can say just how frustrating these full lap warm-up laps are. Very, very difficult to get the tyres warm when you're having to stick to weird speed limits. Just another one of those things that is frustrating sometimes about ACC. Enjoy the peace, because we're not going to have much more of it when we get to the green flag. If there's something ISDA drivers are known for, it is definitely not holding back or being conservative. Track temperature of 19 degrees. Certainly peak conditions to be starting the season and starting this race as well. Hopefully by now the drivers have pressure in the tyres, they have heat in the brakes, they have heat on the surface of the tyre as well to give that utmost traction for the first time through the dip and over the crest. Auto racing, good luck drivers. I can only repeat that myself. Good luck to all of you. I hope that you have the safest of races. Who are you hoping? At least you have internet now, Arthur. So 2 by 2, they run up towards the finish line, and oh my goodness, I hate this draw. We go to the helicopter. It's the only way to view it. Really is. We'll go to somewhere around 10th. Let's see if we can get... Hang on. I just realised I'm using the wrong gap. No wonder I was having issues. Well, we wait for the lights to go green at the top. Look at the top of your screen. We wait for that segment to go green. That marks the start of the first race for the International Sim Drivers Association, and we go green. Drive-throughs already coming, and that is going to be supremely painful for this track. All cleanly through turns 1 and 2 at the moment. A couple of drivers escaping off the inside of the track. It looks like we are cleanly through turns 1 and 2. Very happy to see that. A little drifting from Mattia Mex blocking off the Ferrari. There's an NSX to the inside as well. It looks as though that is some progress made by Jonic already. No, it's Stulik maintaining position in 6th place. An hour of racing with a mandatory pit stop to be made on the brakes through Bruxelles for the first time in race conditions. I think we're all okay at the moment. Further down the field, the long ribbon of cars, it's a McLaren gone round. Oh, and at Speaker's Corner, Miljevic got it ever so slightly wrong. I'm afraid I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. But that's fine. That means I get to use this. Through Roussel, Speaker's Corner, McLaren looks up the inside, gets the slightest of touches. That was not really on, I don't think, as a look to the inside. So that will be all she wrote. Just going to see if I can get the right program working, so that I can get replays a lot easier. Oh, beautiful. That's pretty. Not working though. Oh, that sucks. So, a drive-through for Miljevic. I'm sure that's a big issue for him. But he's also last on the field as well. Meanwhile, Tutik leads the way for the Baby Godzilla team. What a name for the NSX as well. Harkening back to the dominance of the Nissan GTR at Bathurst a few years ago. I don't know why this is struggling so much. Technical issues, unfortunately. Being back to ACC for the first time in a while, I think it's fair to say that this is going to be a struggle for a few moments. What I will do, however, is see if I can be clever. Let me just go like that, and I'm afraid I will have to see you all in a couple of seconds while I relog into the server. I think that's the only way we're going to get the controls back. So hold tight for just a second. We are back in business, and we are back in business with full live timing. That makes sense. And an incident counter as well that we can already see has got an incident registered. So where are the gaps forming? Who is holding who up, and who has fallen far behind the rest of the field? Miljevic is now a minute behind the rest of the field. See how much difference a decent dashboard makes. Krisnich looks like he's looking up the inside up into Lecombe. The pass wasn't quite made there. There we go. So the BMW driver will have to wait for another opportunity to stake his claim on that 9th position. Top 10 is very, very good for him at the moment, though. Under pressure from behind, however, from Dan Minton, that is going to cause him issues as well, having to drive in the front and the rear view mirror. Beautifully turned out M4 GT3 car there. As it looks as though that's the closest battle we have on track at the moment. Romano Bernic is hunting down, or trying to hunt down, the leader. Is just outside of that 1 second gap. Holds the fastest lap of the race at the moment, though. Those things that we just can't see. Brooker for Prime Minister, says JR Sim Racing. Don't I know you, JR? I'm pretty sure I've seen you in Andy's streams. Andrew. He likes Andrew, not Andy. I'll take Brooker for Prime Minister any day of the week. As these three get so close through the bus stop, and then spread out across the start-finish straight, making it all look very, very, very much closer than it is. It looks close enough as if you could have a dive, but it's just not close enough. I don't think we have any... No, we do have a Ferrari somewhere. Give me a second. I thought we had a Ferrari, but I don't... On second thoughts, I don't think we do. No Ferraris, Ivan. I'm very sorry. Krisnich putting pressure. This is where the Porsche is weak. Up the Camel straight. The BMW has a straight line speed advantage. He's going to have another look into Lecombe for the second time of asking. He's slightly closer this time on the brakes, and up the inside he goes. The Porsche tries to stick around the outside. There is millimeters between them. They stick side by side. There's maybe been the slightest bit of contact on the rear left of the Porsche, but now the BMW is under pressure from the Aston Martin. The BMW has the braking performance to be able to just outbrake the Aston Martin. I have my opinions about the brakes on that BMW, and none of them are positive. But masterful driving from Doyle there, and immense bravery to be able to stick it around the outside through Lecombe there. Now the Aston Martin's looking back at the BMW again. Bit of a straight line speed advantage, but that may just be up underneath the draft of the BMW. High downforce for some of these drivers is the only way to get the grip through this Sector 2 twisty turny, especially through Speaker's Corner. Did I hear what? I'm worried. What did I say? Up through Stavelot, and the battle has become a battle of two for just the moment. I'm sure these two are getting side by side and bring Dan Minton straight back into it, though. As Radosevich, oh wow, that was a name. Radosevich is coming into this battle as well, been dragged up the hill by the Aston Martin. This now becomes a four-way battle over 8th position. The position which Aidan Doyle currently holds. Can I win? Okay. Oh man. Through they come. It's strange how they all close up. Oh wow, that's an enormous cut by the Audi. You've got to be careful with those track cuts because you are going to struggle with your track cut penalties, and you don't want to get a drive-through penalty on this track in particular because it is a killer of a speed penalty. BMW wasn't close enough. The Porsche now has enough pace. Good evening, Darko. And now the Aston Martin tries to look up the inside of it again. The BMW, I think, was very much on the line there. Actually, I tell you what, let's jump on board with Minton. And that enormous V12. Oh my goodness. Just turn that down while we're on board with him. Up the inside, I had to let off there through Pouon. Has a better line, so now the BMW has to go defensive against the Aston Martin. What a noise this is as well. But what can the Aston Martin do against the might of the BMW up the hill? Does Minton have the traction? Not quite. He just held off on shifting up, and that was all it took. He does have the draft to drag him up the hill, but I'm not sure as the top speed advantage of the Aston Martin kicks in. It's only a mile per hour or so, a kilometre or so. He's driving the V8, not the V12. It's so noisy though. Why is it so noisy? On the brakes to the outside, the BMW has to go defensive into the bus stop. That's not what you want. That's bringing the Audi back into this battle as well. I'm sure that Krisnich is hoping that the 11 Audi is going to distract the Aston Martin, haunting him behind. Yeah, I thought he was driving the V8, but there's just so much noise, man. So much noise. Oh, over the curb on the outside. That's going to... Well, it should have affected his traction. Apparently, Minton is just out to prove me wrong today. He's closing up as they come up towards Eau Rouge, over and through Raidillon. Ah, yeah, that's very true as well. Yeah, English V8s are great, or British V8s are great. Ah, yeah. You forget how good they sound when you see so few of them. To the inside! Goes down Minton. Can he get the BMW on the brakes? This is going to be a difficult pass for him to make. Pushes the BMW back to the racing line. The pass is made. Minton, with the V8 Vantage, takes that 9th position away and now has to see if he can keep the BMW behind him. Mattia Mex has crashed. Who, the number... Nope. Mex has had an accident. I haven't seen it. I can scrub for it manually. But I'm afraid that's all I can really do. Let me just... 1 second. So, where has this accident taken place? Oh! I see. It took place there. What a good guess. Up and over Raidillon. Big slide. Did he make contact with the wall? Oh, big side-on contact for the Mercedes. Doesn't lose a place, but that is going to cause him issues through the rest of the race. I think he did lose a place to the Honda, actually. Yes, he did. And possibly the Porsche. Is the Porsche going to get to him before? I don't think he... Oh, he will. So the 96, that is Mixic, will take the place, and now more damage for Mex to live with. Thank you very much for that pointer. It didn't even come up on our driver tracking at all. Yeah, no, absolutely. It had a great start to the race. But now he's starting... Do you know what? He's starting to fall back into this battle that we've been watching. As Minton has had a bit of a poor drive off of the previous corner. The 85 at the moment is free to attack Mattia Mex in the AMG. I'm not sure how much the Mercedes has to fight against it. What does the Aston have to fight against the BMW, though? Up underneath the draft, it's a mirror image of what we saw just now. Can the BMW fight around the outside where the Porsche had fought before? On the brakes, the number 3 car tries to go around the outside. An enormous slide from Minton. Keeps it in a straight line and keeps the position. What a master of traction is that Dan Minton. I've seen his driving in real life, and it absolutely doesn't surprise me that he can handle Aston Martin the same way that he handles that Escort in real life. If you haven't seen any of his real world driving, please, I beg you, go and find his Escort driving. There was one particular one at Brands Hatch which was extraordinary to watch, being my home track, as he comes through Pouhon down towards Le Fagna. It's looking pretty stable for the time being. I wonder if Radosevich is biding his time and waiting for the next big stop at the bus stop chicane, as Krisnich has now fallen behind Doyle, so the 80... Oh, no. Yes. Oh, no, he's just closing in. There we go. That's fine. I thought that on my dashboard they swapped places for a second. But here we go. The image you never want to see over the rear spoiler. The hunting of a Porsche. They are relentless. Drivers who drive the Porsches tend to know exactly what they are doing with it. You don't enter a Porsche into a championship like this knowing the risks and knowing the performance benefits and issues. It looks like Krisnich 2 is closing up on Minton, but not quite enough at the moment. The Porsche, the Audi behind of Bellato, is looking to hunt as well. BMW had to escape over the inside of Radion. That's going to be a corner cut penalty, but can he use it to make a position? It looks as though the Aston doesn't feel pressure to defend this time. Oh, Mex has will have a massive amount of damage on that. He hit the wall sideways. So yes, he's going to have a lot of damage. Are we losing? But it looks as though... Yep, the pass has been made. Thank you very much, Steve. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So what... I've got an incident here saying for Minton, he apparently had an incident, but I don't know what the incident was. Ah, unless it was the corner. Ah, it's where he ran wide. That's oddly sensitive. Sure. So now Minton has a Mercedes in front to drag him along the straights. Look how he's starting to gap the BMW. It's not a lot, but it's enough. Battle for second is a very good point to be looking as well. Just want to see... Oh, this is a big battle for second as well. Two Porsches fighting it out. Jonic has fallen away to the tune of 2 seconds from this battle, but Porsche v Porsche action. All of it down to the drivers now and how well they've kept their tyres in condition for this midpoint of the race. It's very close between Borovic and Bernic. Ex-teammates or current teammates? I'm going to have to... Yeah, they're ex-teammates. They used to be Pirate Racing, now running for different teams, so this isn't a teammate fight anymore, but these two absolutely know each other. So I expect to see some vicious fighting coming for the next Yep, for the next few minutes. We have 5 minutes until the opening of the pit window, and every second of that is going to be filled with an even closer battle. Winkler has made up many positions. It is now up behind the 130 Porsche of Brooker, but also has the 55 Aston Martin of Van Coyle behind. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on that battle over second position as well. If it closes up, I will absolutely pull it back to the lead battle. Where's all the timing? All the timing screens have gone funny. Krisnich looks as though, where is he who has fallen behind? So it's Mex has fallen behind Krisnich. Minton is now way up off the road by comparison. There we go. As they go through the sector, it all filters itself out. How are they coming into the bus stop then? These two Porsches. Just going a little bit wider, does Borvets, as they come across the finish line. The gap was 0.388 of a second. But just slight differences in the way they're driving. There we go. That's a much better view. And again, so loud. We're so loud. Oh, that's a look over the inside. He's not going to be able to pass now. Otherwise, that is going to be looked at as a penalty, I would suggest. Bernich has given up. I don't think that was a legitimate pass. I would, if it was me, I wouldn't have gone for that. It will be investigated, yeah, I assume. But of course, I'm not driving. So Bellato will take the place on Mex, the straight line speed. That's Mercedes versus Mercedes now, so you can see just how much damage the 886 is carrying there at the moment. Van Coyle is up behind Brooker, it looks like. Yes, there was someone else in that battle a minute ago. Oh, Winkler has fallen back. Apparently doesn't count as an incident though. Tadic with a 10-second penalty in the 84. I didn't see that. There must be... Give me just a moment. I'm not seeing any messages in the race control. Brooker's got damage, his tyres are flat spotted, so that explains his lack of pace and where he's struggling. Oof, that's a lot of damage on there as well. I haven't seen... So... It looks as though that incident must have happened just as I had my technical issues and left the server, which is just typical. Oh, Zach has been disconnected with a blue screen. Technical issues for the 89 driver. And here we go. Battle over 15th. This is the 130, the 55, the 84 and the 82 technically still involved here. Just watching to see what the cars up ahead get up to. This is not going to be an easy position for Brooker to defend, but defend with all his might he will. On the brakes into the bus stop. Oh, it just doesn't look. It doesn't look. He's going to be able to pit next time round. So, Brooker is going to be pitting next time by. The 886 will be pitting next time by as well. Look at the damage on there as well. Heartbreaking to watch these cars get ripped apart like this. Berenich is coming back at his ex-teammate though. The 8 versus the 22. Pressure building for Philippe, with Romano almost making contact. That's some extraordinary understanding of the extremities of the car. Down the hill they come now towards Pouhon. And again, I can't not jump on board for something like this. What a corner. Entirely flat, just the tiniest bit of camber that you get here to help you around the corner. The rest of it is just up to the aero and the balance and the tyres on your car. And of course, on the driver for getting the entrance to the corner right. Up on the exit, back on the throttle, back down to second gear, through Campus they come, and then up through Stavelot. Are they flat? Of course they are. Porsches handled so well. As the so-called tinnitus machine is roaring up the hill. It really is quite loud in here. Up, back onto the racing line. I don't think this is going to be a passable position at the moment. Pit windows open. Are either of these drivers going to dive for it? Yes! Berenic, taking the strategic call, saw an opportunity, took it right at his earliest convenience. Meanwhile, around the rest of the track, Brooker has valiantly defended that 15th position. Tadic behind has a 10-second penalty, so is not going to be playing any part in this battle when it comes to the final results. Thank you for reminding me. And into the pits. Oh my goodness, they're all coming in. So the first stage of this race has absolutely killed the tyres and the cars on these. Now this is the one of the cars to be watching is Dan Minton in the 888 car. I just realised I can just mute Discord. There we go. Perfect. Circulating on his own. This is where the strategy comes in, and this is where a lot of work can be done when it comes to passing cars and your immediate rivals. So, my own personal interest in the race has retired through damage. We need to go and have a look, however, at the number 8 car, who is leaving the pits now. And what does he have? Fresh air, that's a yellow flag. Who's that in front? That is another Porsche of Doyle. Doyle's had a No, it's not Doyle. Dunster. Dunster's had an almighty incident at the top of the hill, and once again hasn't been captured, so I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. But Dunster in the number 4 car having a lot of traffic to work through. Out on his own, fresh air all around. He's going to come up through a Rouge, over Radion, and get all over the curbs, and that's a big kick of oversteer. Front end damage for the Porsche before he can get going again. Really unfortunate. Now this is the driver that we need to be watching. Romano Berenic, the number 8 Porsche, sat up behind the 22 car. Matej Miksik has had a disconnection as well. Really unfortunate issues in the early part of this. It's a new championship, so everything to play for and lose. Plenty of time to make up for those losses. But Tutik currently 10 seconds to the good of Zoran Jonic. Now, this is an interesting battle. Jonic was not able to hold on to the Porsches in second and third, but maybe with some clear air, he'll be able to make a difference. Who was that in the pits? That was Burlas in the 99 with a lot of front-end damage. We'll follow the number 8 Porsche for the time being. How awesome does this look in the widescreen that YouTube now offers? Looks absolutely fantastic being able to fit the whole cars in the video now. And is this a pass for position? And Berenic taking back the position on the 22 car in the pit lane. I do believe it might be. We come up to the first sector, and indeed it is, and by a margin of 1.8 seconds. What a strategy call by Romano Berenic to keep Filipe Barvet's behind. Astounding driving on fresh tyres that won't have been up to pressure or temperature, and now Barvet has to do exactly the same lap that Berenic did the lap before, but now the number 8 car has tyres that are warm. And that will make a massive difference. Minton running 18 seconds behind Jonic, 10 seconds behind Tutic. And they are your leaders at the moment. A bit of time now to just appreciate the exquisite liveries that we have on the ISDA racing paddock. Tutic. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Ivan. Tutic. Just appreciating a little bit of peace for just a moment. Don't worry, the fighting will absolutely be back at gas mark 5 or 200 degrees if you are on a traditional convection oven. We just need the remaining 7 leaders to pit, and then we'll find out. Now this is really interesting. Krisnic into the pits, Balato into the pits, Miljevic into the pits, and your leader, as the halfway mark falls on this race, will take to the pit lane down to 50 kilometers per hour and begin the slow trundle down to his pit lane. Jonic as well is in the pits. Minton coming up towards the and into the pits comes Minton as well. Sorry, Ivan, I was trying to read your message there. And what will the BMW of Tadic say as he comes? I don't think he's got the time to get round another lap. I think this is going to be the lap that it happens. Yeah, into the pits. So now, how much progress does the number 8 car, who is the leader of our cars and drivers who have pitted? Give me a second. I'm just going to... Receipt for the winter, a 3090 or higher. Every cold day a long race, no one will be cold. Yes. Yeah, get yourself a lovely 13th gen Intel processor or one of the new AMD Ryzen processors and a Nvidia 4090. And you won't need to have any other heating. That will keep you warm, and it'll use all of the electric in your house for all the winter. So, Berenic comes across the finish line. Tutic is on the floor. But how far along the pit lane is he? He is rolling. He comes out of the pit lane now as the Porsches come out of turn 1. That's a McLaren up the inside that he's going to need to give way to. So Tutic remains in the lead, but the gap, the gap has come down. Jonic has lost out 2nd and 3rd place. Minton is A-OK where he is. So now the fight for the win is on between Tutic in the Honda and the two ex-teammate Porsches, the 8 and the 22 of Romano Bernic and Filipe Bravet. I could do it, I swear. Jonic in the 24 car is in 4th. D'Couza levels out to 5th position. Great run for the number 80 car. Doyle has recovered to 6th. Minton, a massive climb through the pit window all the way up to 7th position. Great work by the 888 car, and now he's got just the 85 Porsche in front to deal with to get another position up. I think that could be a fight that lasts once again to the end of the race. Minton knows what he's doing in that Aston Martin, but so does Doyle. Just need to see how the cars perform in their relative. It looks like Brooker has just taken the BMW of Tadic, and that was a position change up into Lecom. Very nicely done. Still no incidents apparently. So all of the gaps are spread out ever so slightly for the moment. Let's see how the stagger unwinds. Now we have a mixture of drivers with fresher and older rubber. We know that Andrew Brooker took that early pit stop to get rid of the damage from his car, hoping beyond hopes that the car's actually been fixed properly in that pit stop. But now Tadic starts to come back towards Brooker. It's going to be a difficult end to the race there. Whoa, BMW got it all wrong. 84 car missed his braking point. And goes wide again on the other side as well. That was a big mistake. That has given Brooker a big sigh of relief. Really lucky that he didn't hit the back of Brooker there as well. But down the hill comes BMW. Indeed, let's go Brooker. On towards the 82 Bentley of Otto Winkler. A man whose voice I have not heard in a long time. Now what's really interesting to me is Berenic is pulling away from Borovets here after the pit stops. Though these tyres, for whatever reason, seem to be working better in this stint, and suddenly the number 8 is untouchable. Not as untouchable as the 34 Honda, though. That's a whole different level of untouchable, it really is. Can I show lap times? I don't know, can I? No. I can go like that. But unfortunately, I do not have the capability to show lap times. Unless you know better than me, I'm more than happy to be wrong on that. Here we go. I thought it might be coming. Minton closing down. I mean, I can give you... Are you looking for a specific lap time, Ivan? To feed back to someone? Because I can give you, like, last laps for a specific car. I have that on my dashboard, I just can't show that on the stream because capturing things. Bottom right under the names. Bottom right under the name. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's just temporarily it holds it up. Like that. Yeah, that's what I mean, is I can There are things that I can do for a specific car, but on the whole, the top 3 are doing 2-minute 17s. Jonic is all on his own doing a 2-minute 18. And then the rest of the field are between 2 minutes 18 and 2 minutes 20 as of their last lap. Fastest laps, 2:17.0 for Tutic. Tutic or Tutic? 2:17.607 for Berenic, so he's running as fast as he has run. 2:17.675 again for Borovic, so another of their fastest laps, but still 0.6 off the pace of that leading NSX. Now, I'm going to break away from this battle for just a second to have a look at this NSX, because this NSX is pretty. I don't mind this car being overpowered, because it's a good-looking car and it sounds nice. BMW's being overpowered, that's a very different matter. I am the lead BMW M4 hater in another Discord. Not least of which is because I've been taken out by far too many of them. But this could be a good look up the inside. That's a very slight overspeed for Dan Minton on Aidan Doyle. This could be a 6th place for Minton if he can keep it all together. Gets better traction off the final corner. Up underneath the spoiler of the Porsche. He just needs another good traction area like that out of the final corner. Really sorry, I didn't mean to stick on that camera for so long. It just sounded really good. Oh, Porsche having to let off over Raidillon. This could be the opportunity. The Porsche is staying to the right for the time being, goes right to the left. Aston Martin looks up the inside, has the overspeed to get it done. I don't think Doyle felt as though he had much of a defence that time, and that is the pass made. 6th position for the 888 car, and only 8.5 seconds in 18 minutes to make up to the Hondas and Porsches ahead. Maybe this will spur him on with how easy that pass was made by Doyle running over the inside curb at Raidillon. That the Aston Martin has the performance envelope to take it to the cars up the head of the field. His last lap was his fastest as well. The track really is coming alive for these drivers right now. So that will be all she wrote for the fight there. Tadic, meanwhile, is on the defensive from Mex now, a readily fitted. Is 18 degrees cold? I'm sure it is fun, to be fair. I don't disagree with that. But the Mercedes, oh, the Mercedes! Freshly repaired out of the pits. Mex is on a mission and is going to show the sister German Mark how it's done. Tadic in the 84 BMW is going to have not a lot of answer for the might of the Mercedes. Oh, where's that viewpoint gone? Up the inside, is there anything the BMW can do? He tries to come across the racing line, but it's already taken. It's the outside line through Blanchimont, however. Using all the road a little bit more. The BMW is now on a tight line. He was able to stick flat on the throttle. That is an insane amount of performance in the aero for that 84 BMW. I can't believe that he kept that on the track. But now Mex has to do it all over again. So close. He was almost touching the back of the BMW. It looks as though the Mercedes has the straight line advantage for the time being. See if he can get it all cobbled together. over the top of Radeon. Is the BMW going to get loose? No. That's still a valid lap time, so he didn't go too far over the inside. Up in front, Brooker is now on the hunt against Otto Winkler in the 82 as well. BMW always wakes up when there's a Mercedes on his tail. I totally agree. The 886 is going to outbrake himself and go wide. You can't keep with the braking of a BMW. And now he has to do all of that hard work to get up to the back of the BMW again. Minimal heartbreak for the time being. I'm sure it won't take long for the 886 to get back on the bumper. Just trying to update in the Discord to see who's doing what and how everything's going. Everything looks relatively alright at the moment. What doesn't look alright is the Igor Krishnich with a drive-through penalty. That will be track limits. There's nothing that race control can do about that. That is the number 3 car about to fall well and truly out of contention in the late stages of this race. Meanwhile, the Porsche of Andrew Brooker pressuring the rear limited Bentley GT3, it looks like. So where is the number 3 car going to come out? Possibly into this battle even. Oh, he's not even into the endurance pits yet. Oh, that's a lot of traction that the Porsche's got. I've just bumped into my Simric as well. To the outside, into La Source goes Andy Brooker. This is over 13th and 14th, remember. The Bentley goes defensive. Porsche will get the traction off of the corner. The gap comes down and down and down, but the Bentley in a straight line just about keeps the Porsche behind for the time being. Up into Radeon they come. A key part of the track now. Winkler's lap is invalidated. Another strike against him for track limits, but it keeps him ahead of the Porsche for now. It's all about strategic use of those track cut penalties. But Krishnich well and truly out of contention now. But this battle is slowly becoming a 4-car battle. Can the 130 car dispose of Otto Winkler through P1? No, it's going to be a very slow apex speed. This could be an opportunity coming down in towards La Fagna for the Porsche if he can get it right. Or perhaps not, but now he's going to be pressured by the Mercedes. Mercedes made it back past BMW, but gone straight into a wall of Porsche. The Bentley got a big slide on, and that is all the opportunity and invitation the 130 needed. They're side by side coming down into campus. And now the Mercedes has an attack, and this is where Mercedes is going to be strongest up the hill towards Blanchimont. They come now. 130 car has made an attack. It's going to lose out 2 positions to the BMW as well. Meanwhile, the Bentley has escaped scot-free from a mistake, and that's how this GT3 racing can go. BMW looking up at the outside. Can the Porsche do anything on the inside to defend? BMW goes wide. That's what I was expecting him to do before when he was defending against the Mercedes. Mercedes goes very squarely on the brakes. Massive car control there from the Mercedes as Mattia Mex. Bentley goes wide, and that is the position gained for the Mercedes. Now the Bentley has to defend against the BMW, the mighty BMW on the brakes, but the Bentley has gone defensive already. Nothing happening there. Still looking at Andy Brooker now, who is looking to gain back those places that he lost. We'll have a word or two for the 82 Bentley when he gets to have a word with him. I see you in the chat, Mustafa. Good evening. BMW really looking squirrely on its tyres at the moment. but has got a lot of pace in a straight line. Bentley is not able to hold it in a straight line, but on the brakes, what can the Bentley do? Side by side, they come into Le Combe. They've seen this a lot over the course of the race. Now the Porsche is trying to hold on and get past as well. There's a NSX there as well. I think that might actually be the leader. No, it's not the leader. It's the wrong livery. There is an NSX there as well, who is desperately trying to find their way through. That is Stulich, who is stuck. I think it might be laps down at this point. Yeah, that is a laps down car, but that's how slow these drivers are running. Now they're being caught by drivers laps down. And we get to breathe for just a minute. And I do mean just a minute, because it's not over for Brooker either, who is going to be on the defensive against the car who is laps down as well. Berlas has retired to the pits. The 99 car will take no further part. But look at the gap the 886 now has. He's in 12th position. He's 13 seconds off of 11th. But he now has some safe working space to get some pace out of that Mercedes. Brooker has a drive-through, yes, so that will be one moment. I do love me some bots. So, where are we going now? Miljevic is 0.6 of a second off the 55 Vigor Van Coyle. This is going to be a very interesting fight, actually. 55 versus the 998. Very different performance envelopes. Yeah, I totally agree. Big shame for Brooker, but that's the problem with miscalculating how many corner cuts you're using. Where's the pace going to come for the McLaren? The gap is definitely coming down, but it's just a case of whether McLaren has the pace at the key moments to make the pass happen on that V8 Vantage. This is the closest battle we have on track at the moment as well, so we will stick with this, but I'm desperately hoping that Brooker isn't disheartened by that drive-through. He's fought so hard to be where he is on the grid. It's such a shame to have that happen. That's how the race goes sometimes, unfortunately. Unhidden? I am the confused. Did we both do the same thing? Is that what happened? Sorry, they've changed YouTube again. I'm just trying to work out how to get rid of this. Oh, you... That's what that button is. There we go. It'll never happen again. I'm very sorry. As I say, they've broken it, as usual. Thanks, YouTube. So it looks as though that gap is just about static, but it's so close. It's so tantalizingly close to having a massive battle on our hands. It looks as though there's been an incident between the 82 and the 233. So what's happened here then? I have I see an incident. It was a few minutes ago. I agree, use premium, they say. Yeah, I totally agree that. Let's have a very quick look at this replay. This was 233 versus the 82. As a car comes through the pits, that's what that siren on the inside was. On the brakes, oh, the NSX got it all wrong. Is laps down, and that was a bit of a mistake by the NSX driver. I'm pretty sure Burlas is new to the series, so we will understand that maybe he's not quite used to it. It's an easy mistake to make, especially into La Source, but that I'm sure will be looked into after the race. Here we go. Now the pace comes through the mid-engined McLaren, has the stability over the front-engined Aston Martin. Aston Martin goes a little defensive, just a little wiggle towards the racing line. But now the McLaren is going to have to find his own way past that 55 car. And I do not envy him one bit. Into La Source. Look at the tyre marks on the inside. All the way through. That's how much rubber has been laid down through the course of the race. Just trying to see where Tutic is. 4 minutes 20 remaining on the race. This could just about be 3 laps remaining on this race. In fact, I think it will be. I think it will be. So, 3 laps remaining for, well, 4 laps more or less for this battle here. Four laps for Miljevic to find the weakness in the 55 Aston Martin. I must admit, I'm looking for one as well. A little bit too tight that time. Nerves getting to him for Van Coyle. Through Speaker's Corner, and it's a big twitch for Miljevic. Perhaps the tyres are struggling under the stress of this battle. Through Pouhon they come. Back to sensible and safe. But for sure, not over yet. Look how quickly the McLaren gets back up towards the Aston Martin. Now in a straight line, who has the straight line speed? Up towards Blanchimont. Oh, that sounded like a let off of the throttle for the Aston Martin. There's more audio coming from the left-hand side as well. It looks as though they're coming up on a car. We can't quite see. There is a car just up ahead. That is Remco Langendijk, I think. You can see in the rear-view mirror as well, McLaren looming large, threatening to take that 10th position away. What a very good noise. Flat for the Aston Martin as well. Tutic will come across the line and complete 24 laps. It's going to be 25 laps in total for this race. And I'm pretty sure that this battle is going to go down to the wire. Only takes one mistake from the Aston Martin, and that was a four-wheel slide into the first part of Le Combe as well. So, not beyond... Oh, that's a lot of oversteer from the Aston Martin now that we're looking at it. Into Bruxelles. Runs super wide, does the exact opposite of what they did. That's a legitimate line through Bruxelles. Nothing wrong with going wide through that 180-degree turn. Now through Speaker's Corner. Comfortable with the gap at the moment, it looks like. But I think Remco is just leaning on the car a little bit less than he might have thought. as Miljevic. Miljevic has fallen off. I think he has cried enough. I dare say he may have actually cried enough, which I'm astounded by. Berenic is just... Oh no, this is a position change on the final lap. And this is going to be damage as well, I think. Is this going to be losing out to... That's a lapped car. But could this be Jonic on course for a podium? It could well be. In the dying moments, Jonic looks to the inside on the Porsche, the number 8 Porsche of Berenic. Berenic? Words are good. Oh, big slide from the 24. He must have his traction control set quite high to be able to counter for that. But is there damage on the Porsche? Has it counted? It hasn't counted that, for goodness sake. Where is Tusic at the moment? He's coming down towards the bottom of the hill. Let's just have a very, very quick look. I saw that. You saw that. We all saw that. What happened to the Porsche? Let's jump on board with the number 8 as we follow him through a Rouge. Up through... Oh, he was lost before he even got to Radion. Incredible control. Importantly, no contact with the barrier, no damage, but now the fight is on for second through to fourth. Out on his own, 21 seconds will be the lead as he comes across the line. Kevin Tudic takes the win for round 1 of the International Sim Drivers Association Autumn GT3 World Challenge. And that is all she wrote. A masterful drive, but behind it is chaos on the final lap of the race. Borovets is defending from Baron, is defending from Jonic in the NSX. It is going to be touch and go. The 8 car looks as though he's got better traction. The 22 car went defensive, but he's just going to hold him off. The ex-teammates brought the fight in the end. But it will be the 22 car ahead of the number 8. 24 was not able to capitalise on the performance. Donuts from the number 34 car that we had to step away from for just a second. Beautiful pirouette for the McLaren. I'm pretty sure that that is as far as we're going to go. Dan Minton will come across the line in the 888 car and give us some beautiful slides to finish out. As the Doyle car comes across the line, a difficult race for the 85. And Remco Langdijk we are waiting for now. That's an Audi that's just gone. Remco is the 36 car here. What a race. What an opening to the season as well. So, the final standings as of your finishers will be the BMW stops. Tudic will take the win. Borovets will come second. Berenic will come third. Jonic fourth. D'Couza will come fifth. Minton bringing the AM-V8 GT3 to 6th, Doyle to 7th, Bellato 8th, Langdijk 9th, Goyli to 10th, Miljevic 11th, Mex to 12th, Tadic in 13th, Winkler to 14th, Krisnic in 15th, Brooker to 16th, Miljevic, Racevic, Stulic and Dunster round out your top 20. Philippe Borovets puts in the chat, finished with 0.0 fuel on the line. Absolutely astounding. What a race to start the championship. Contact. So here are the race control incidents. Incident between the 755 3699. 10-second penalty for the number 84 car, and the 233 is being investigated between the 82 and the 233. Give us just a moment. Once more, thank you very much, SRP, for sponsoring this season as we prepare for the drivers to get their interviews and their heads back in order. We might see some interviews. It would be really nice if we did see some interviews. I love speaking to the drivers, but we will see if anyone comes to it. In the meantime, thank you very much, SRP, for sponsoring. Just getting everything present and correct. We do have, I'm very glad to say, our second place finisher, Mr. Philippe Boravets. Let me just turn you on before you say anything incriminating or otherwise. Philippe, it's a pleasure to have you back. It's a pleasure to be back in this combox and to take home second position against the recently buffed Honda NSX. You must be feeling fairly comfortable with that.
Yeah, hi Ike. It's good to be back. But did you see that finish?
Oh, believe me, we didn't miss that finish. That was insane. And you finished with 0 fuel.
Yeah, I did.
So
0-0 on the line. Last two laps I was driving with the map 10. That's like a safety car map, and I was lifting before the braking zones. I wasn't sure if I was gonna finish.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But worth the fight.
Oh man, it was crazy.
What happened? What happened? What were your thoughts when you came over the hill and saw Baranich going slow?
I couldn't believe it because I was sure I had no fuel to finish the race.
Yep.
Yeah, and we all almost crashed in Blanchimont.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was really crazy. Yeah.
It's absolutely I will ask as well. You're carrying new teammates, new team names. I've been out of the picture while IRL stuff happens.
Yeah.
What's happened to Pirate Racing, man?
We're still Pirate Racing. It might be that we took the in-game liveries.
Oh, okay. Is that what you did?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
probably that. So
No,
actually, Romano and me are called Pirate Racing, and we have Kevin, who won the race, Jonic too,
Yep.
and Carlo, and
So-
Mixit and Dunster. So
it's a full Pirate Racing podium, is what you're saying.
yeah, actually it is.
You've got to stop taking on all these fast drivers, man. It's making the rest of us look bad. You need to take on some AM drivers. Maybe I hear that Alex Moore guy isn't very quick. You maybe be able to do something with him.
Yeah, sure.
But congratulations, it's a second position, first round. Enough for you to build on. You think that the Porsche is going to have the performance against the NSX through the rest of the championship?
I don't think so. We have Indianapolis next, right? So Porsche is not really good there. Then Monza, it's awful there. Then Mount Panorama, it's even more awful there.
Yep.
And yeah, the end of the season should be good for the car, but we'll see.
we'll be looking for you towards the other end of the.
Yeah,
the other
and
end of
Kevin
the-
is crazy fast.
He is.
Yeah.
I wish get him to come and say hi to us, please. If not tonight, next round, because I love meeting new people. I love meeting new drivers and getting their opinions.
He said
so
that he doesn't know how to speak English.
I will accept. I will even accept him giving a brief rundown of the race in his own language. I just need to trust everyone else that he doesn't say anything rude about me.
All right.
But no, an absolutely and dominant display apparently from Pirate Racing. Congratulations to everyone else there.
Thanks, Ike.
I'll grab Zoran in a minute, and once again, it's great to have you guys back on track. I've really missed this.
Yeah.
There's only one thing I miss more is driving with you.
You should.
I need to do this. Someone needs to commentate.
Yeah.
You have a lovely evening, Philippe, and we'll see you
too,
next
thanks.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Next into the combox, we will drag a Zoran Jonic, who I'm told I continue to pronounce his name wrong.
It's really it's good this time. It was good last season too. Yeah.
Okay. No. It's the way that everyone was going like Jonic in the chat. I'm just like, am I doing it wrong still?
No, perfectly fine.
Oh, perfect. I'll take that. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. A fourth place. It could have been so much more in those dying moments. Talk us through the final lap of that race.
I saw that Philip is saving fuel, so I was continued to driving my pace. My rear tires were kind of dead. But in the end, I saw that he's slowing down so much, probably around 2.5 seconds. So I wanted to take my opportunity into Blanchimont. So I had good exit and followed these two guys, Romano and Philip. And basically in Blanchimont, Philip was so slow. Romano wanted to, I don't know, overtake him, and he pressed the brake in the moment when I sent it, and I almost died there. So I slammed on the brakes and finished P4.
I genuinely ran out of words to be able to talk about that fight. Absolutely insane. And
it was unfortunate,
What car control from yourself? What setup are you running? Because I need that.
I don't know, because basically every Eau Rouge I was holding my breath because I almost died there like 2-3 times. So
really,
it's kind of a sketchy setup, but it works. It's a drifty car in the end, so a little bit hard to control it in the corners, but it flies on the straights. So I drove it last season, so this season is even better. They buffed 100%. It a bit.
Yeah. They've buffed it. As I say, I don't mind them buffing the Honda. It's a good car. It's a great looking car as well. Which
great looking and great sound in the end. So it's really nice to drive it and shift gears, downshifts, and everything. It's like it's pleasure.
It's a good noise. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. We're more than happy to live with that at the head of the field, and hopefully you can take the performance to the other Porsches as well in the next races.
Yeah, I hope so. It's fun in the end because basically we are practicing together. So
of course.
But we have competition between us, between the Porsches and the Honda. It's everyday talk which car is better one. So it's really fun.
Are you going to make your own cars and liveries so that I don't get confused as to which teams you're on?
Okay. I'll ask Philip about that. For now,
please.
Yeah, for now we just took colors for the teams. Yes.
Yeah. I must admit that I do miss the Pirate Racing Porsches, and I think that livery would look absolutely exquisite plastered onto an NSX as well.
Yeah. Okay, for the next race, that's Philip's job. I'm gonna tell him. He's listening probably. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a lovely evening, Zoran.
Thank you, man.
It was wonderful having you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Cheers. And into the comp box we have now is a Nixmox. Hello, mate.
Hello, good evening to everybody.
Our lead race director for the evening.
For the evening, yes. Long time no see, and I need to repeat my work a little bit, but.
How was the hot seat for the evening?
It was actually really good. Most of the time I just hang out with the guys and talked about different stuff. The guys racing were pretty much really clean, although I must say most of the people racing tonight was old guard and they know what they're doing, so the behavior was really clean, very nice, and the racing was top notch, I think, for the evening. I was a little bit surprised that actually Kevin took the top spot with his Honda above Borovec and Romano Berenic, but this is just the beginning of the season, and from now on I'm expecting a really good fight between the three of the drivers, and possibly even fourth and fifth coming for the competition during this season. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it as well. I genuinely can't wait for the rest of the season. Over to Indianapolis, which is one of my favorite tracks. For an American, well, I like all of the American tracks to be fair, but Indianapolis is a pretty decent track, all things considered. When you bear in mind it's an oval. Hopefully back to our normal scheduling next week, I assume.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little bit of technical difficulties fixed. Definitely looking forward to. In general, American tracks, they're a little bit different. There are some ovals, but comparing it to European tracks, they're much more bumpy, much more old school tracks, a lot of up and downs.
Yeah.
And with the general ovals and a little bit straighter roads, it's going to be much more interesting and a little bit more bunched up because of the aerodynamic effects and grouping. But
spoken like a true genius on the subject. I couldn't put it any better myself. If
I-
you need any more reason to tune in next week, just know that those Porsches, they're underplaying their hand. They're absolutely underplaying their hand. I expect to see them competing a lot more closer at the head of the field next week. Really do.
There's a lot of surprises in ACC with BOP during the summer, so we don't really know what to expect from the drivers and especially from the cars. I definitely think Porsches got overgraded with the Honda a little bit, or BOP played a little bit of role here. But this is quite a straight track with which never pretty much suited Porsches. But they have a lot of time to make their places and time up during the season, and definitely it's gonna be a very interesting fight. We have
totally
a lot
agree.
of Porsches and Hondas. Well, a lot.
Compared to before.
Yes, compared to before, and then they're all taking quite nice spots on the top. And like I said, during the season, the drivers that I see, most of them I know them from different leagues and so on. It's gonna be tight competition. Like, good thing we didn't separate pro and Ams, because 90% of people here are definitely pros, and it's gonna be a proper fight during the end.
Yep. Where on earth do you draw the line? If that's not an encouragement, I don't know what is. Thank you very much for joining us. And we'll catch you in a bit. All right.
You're welcome, and everybody have a good evening and a nice night, and hope to see you in the next race.
Perfect.
Bye bye.
Catch you in a minute. And I think that is just about it for the first round. What I should have done is been a little bit more clever and got to a reasonable perspective. So it didn't play any key parts in the racing tonight. No, go away for a second. It didn't play any key parts in the racing tonight, but La Source has been the scene of so many incidents and accidents up and down the field and across all different disciplines as well. That is going to be it from the International Sim Drivers Association, from Spa-Francorchamps. Thank you very much for watching, and again, thank you very much to Sim Racing Pro for sponsoring the video. We will actually have a look at that video now, and then we will bid you good night. My name has been Ike Sky. It's been wonderful to have you, and we'll see you next time from America.